Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Madigan and my friend Natalie asked me to send her a video, and I think she picked me because I've been an elementary school teacher for over 20 years, and I think she thought I'd have this fabulous teaching wisdom to give you guys, since you guys are all homeschool teachers now in this long distance learning craziness. And unfortunately I've got nothing. I've got nothing in that area. Even though I can teach anybody else's kids, nothing prepares you to teach your own kids. And I can promise you they are much better behaved for their teachers than they are for you guys. At least mine are. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, and we are just making it through the day. So I have nothing to offer you in that area. I'll keep thinking. But I do have something that has been helping me get through the days, and so I just want to pass this on in case it helps any of you out there. As a Christian woman, I have just been struggling with how to balance fear and faith. And, you know, there is a lot to be afraid of out there. And this coronavirus is no joke. And I don't want to be ignorant and not pay attention to the news. But I also believe in a God that has all this in his control. And I have faith in what's in my future and what's in the future of those around us. So I don't want to live day to day in a state of fear. So what does that look like? I have been doing something. I have been waking up, and before I look at the news or do anything that is going to bring on that sense of fear, I try to remember what, I think it was Mr. Rogers that said it, or it was Mr. Rogers' mom. I think it might have been Mr. Rogers' mom, or it was some random person, but I'm thinking it was Mr. Rogers' mom. And she told Mr. Rogers, she told Mr. Rogers that when anything crazy is happening, when there's a crisis or anything traumatic, to look for the helpers. And I've been doing that. If you just Google stories, like wonderful stories that are coming out of the coronavirus, or if you just go on your Nextdoor app, there are constant reminders of the good, that there's so much good out there still. And so just two little stories just I heard in the last couple days. One in line at Costco. There was an elderly woman, and she was in line, and the manager asked her if she had found everything she needed, and she said, well, I couldn't find the bread. You guys are all out of bread. And this 19-year-old boy behind her said, ma'am, I have bread in my cart if you want it. Oh my gosh, so that type of thing. Like, we have really struggled with teaching our kids how to respect the elderly. It's not something that is really taught in our culture anymore, and just realizing that this virus is causing us to look at the older generation as a group of people to be respected and cared for. I think that is just amazing that we are all reaching out to take care of the elderly, and that is not something that Americans in general have done before. So that is amazing. Also, there was another story, and this just happened right here in Redwood City, where a woman just in Target bought $900 worth of Starbucks gift cards to give to the hospital workers at the Kaiser in Redwood City, just because they are on the front line right now. And as she was walking out, she handed back a Starbucks card to my friend who is a checker at Target, and she said, you were on the front line too. And that, I think, is just powerful, because all those people who are still going to work every day, that is amazing that they are sacrificing their health just to help the rest of us get what we need, and to be there in case we need them at the hospital and everything. And I think just filling your head with those wonderful stories and reminding yourself that there is good coming out of this, even though it's this very huge global crisis, there is good that we can look for. And I am an animal lover, and just Googling every day how the animals are taking over the world since the people aren't there anymore. We're all in our houses, and there's dolphins. I think there's dolphins in the Venice canals, although I have to fact check that. And then there's turtles filling the beaches in India. You can Google all these images. There's goats all over the streets of Wales. I mean, it's crazy what happens when the people step away and nature takes its course. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still in a state of fear for parts of my day, but I think just starting the morning and just being on the lookout for the good that is coming out of this, that is a great way to remind yourself that we have a lot to be hopeful for, and that we know that God is in control and that he can bring good out of any situation. So look for the good. I'll be back with hopefully some educational tidbits in the near future. Bye.